Hey, good evening. We're going to call the Schaumburg Village Board meeting to order for Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. Thank you all for being here. First item is I want to at least mention to you, if you have any electronic devices, please turn them off. We do not want them to disturb this meeting. Next item is a roll call, please.
Trustee Patel?
Present.
Trustee Clare?
Present.
Trustee Sullivan?
Present.
Trustee Madej?
Present.
Trustee Bischke?
Present.
Trustee LaRosa?
Present.
President Daly?
Present. All present and accounted for. Next item is Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to ask Trustee Bischke to lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise and join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Trustee Bischke. Next item is the approval of minutes from the April 14, 2026 board meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the approval of the April 14, 2026 public hearing minutes.
Move to approve as presented. Second.
Motion and a second to approve as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the approval for the April 14, 2026 executive session minutes.
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries for that one also. Thank you very much. My time's finally run out. Next item is the approval of expenditures for $5,499,705.49.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes or the expenditures as presented. Will the clerk please pull the board?
Trustee Patel?
Aye.
Trustee Clare?
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan?
Aye.
Trustee Madej?
Aye.
Trustee Bischke?
Aye.
Trustee LaRosa?
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. Thank you. And now we have a presentation.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. Okay.
So tonight, I am pleased to present to you the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the Village's fiscal year 24-25 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report, which was awarded by the Government Finance Officers Association. This is the 41st time the Village has received this award. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition for excellence in state and local government financial reporting. To be awarded this distinction, a government must publish an easily readable and efficiently organized set of financial statements. The report must satisfy both generally accepted accounting principles and the applicable legal requirements. This document is further audited by an independent auditing firm. Many, many hours are spent incorporating new pronouncements, meetings with stakeholders, preparing work papers, and attesting transactions to ensure we produce a comprehensive document excuse me, that is accurate and transparent for all village stakeholders. While this is a collaborative effort, I must give special recognition to Francesca Fabian, our talented accounting manager. She couldn't be here this evening. Her son receives his first communion this weekend, and it's practice tonight. So, but she leads the audit and development of the financial statements. Her commitment to excellence truly represents Schaumburg's spirit and core values. I'd like to thank the Village Board and the Village Manager for your support and confidence in the finance team. And I am proud to present you with the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for the fiscal year ending April 30th, 2025.
Oh.
Thank you. So this is, I know it might seem kind of routine now because the finance department does receive this under your direction for a number of years, but this is really very important. It shows that we meet a certain standard, and Schaumburg has been very thoughtful about having standards in that we try to meet for not only this, Public Works, our IT department, throughout, and this is always a very good one so that when people pick up our books, they know that they're meeting a certain minimum that has to be met, so. Okay, so let's.
Thank
So let's get a picture here. Thank you. Okay, thank you. You want to take it back?
I will.
Okay, all right, that's good. Okay, next item is liquor license request. We have a request from Mr. Neil Patel for 4 Class QV video gaming liquor licenses for 4 locations, and that's actually for Shuffles. They're in the process of changing the name to Jenny's Slots, but currently it's still listed as Shuffles, which we're familiar with. Located at 2327 West Schaumburg Road, 1227 North Roselle Road, 13 West Weathersfield Road, and 722 East Schaumburg Road as new owners. So why don't you come forward? I think you've, yeah. Well, actually, both of you, come on up, yeah. So obviously you've been here before, so
Yes.
just go ahead, tell us, it's basically a change of ownership.
Ownership.
Yeah.
So my name is Meenal Ketan Patel, and I'm standing before you seeking for approval to be added on as a partner in the 4 Schaumburg locations of Shuffles Cafe and Lounge, soon to be Jenny's Slots. I have been a resident of Village of Schaumburg for over 25 years. Over the 25 years, I've owned and operated multiple businesses. Originally, when Shuffle started back in 2022, I was one of the original partners. But due to unforeseen circumstances, we had to sell the business. The current ownership needs operating the business, and they approached me to be a part of it again, to manage it. If there is any question, I'm happy to answer, and I look forward to a formal village approval to be added in as a partner.
Questions, comments from the board? No? Okay. I know you're in process of getting this work done with the Liquor Commissioner's Office, which is also out of the Mayor's Office, so continuing that process, and there's typical, I'm not sure they'll be doing a full background check because you've already been in this, and my understanding is if you've been through it within 5 years, they don't necessarily do all of the process, such as fingerprinting, but either way, the Magdalene upstairs will
Sure.
take care of that with you. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, all right. So you're welcome to stay or leave. It's up to you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, I already did. Okay, I asked nobody. Okay, can you move on to the consent agenda? Excuse me. The consent agenda will be read in its entirety, voted on in one motion to approve. If you wish to discuss an item further, please indicate that when the item is read by the village clerk so that it can be removed from the consent agenda and discussed further under committee reports. Otherwise, all items will be approved as presented on the consent agenda in one motion to approve. Will the clerk please read the consent agenda?
Number 9, liquor license requests, 1-day liquor license requests. The motion would be to approve the request from Mr. William Solomon of St. Gregory of Nyssa Parish for 1 Class D 1-day liquor license for a church event on Sunday, April 26, 2026, at 1451 West Bodie Road. B, the motion would be to approve the request from Ms. Carrie Allen of Fogo de Chao for 1 Class D 1-day liquor license for the SBA's Golf Classic event on June 17, 2026 at 401 North Roselle Road and waive the fee. Correspondence. The motion would be to approve the request from the Prairie Center Arts Foundation to hold a raffle on June 20th, 2026 at L. Larson Cultural Center located at 201 Schaumburg Court and to waive the fidelity bond requirement. 11, proclamations. A, Small Business Week, May 3rd through 9th, 2026. National Police Week, May 11th through 16th, 2026. Historic Preservation Month, May 2026. Building Safety Month, May 2026. Monarch Conservation Month, May 2026. 12, Finance, Legal, and General Government Committee. The motion would be to approve the Finance Department's monthly report for March 2026. B, the motion would be to approve membership in the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus and that membership dues in the amount of $3,542.54 be paid. C, the motion would be that the agreement with Thomas Weir LLC of Springfield, Illinois for for legislative consulting services be extended for fiscal year 26-27. D, the motion would be to approve issuing a purchase order to Tyler Technologies of Yarmouth, Maine, for year 3 in the amount of $385,360. E, the motion would be to award the bid for the purchase of Fortinet support renewal and endpoint client subscriptions to SciTech, Inc., Fremont, California, in the amount of $148,762.66. F, the motion would be to authorize the village manager to approve a purchase order for security video system server upgrade to Pace Systems, Inc. of Naperville, Illinois, in the amount of $178,044.60. G, the motion would be to adopt an ordinance authorizing a reservation of the village's tax-exempt private activity bonding authority to the town of Normal for the Assist Homeownership Program. H, the motion would be to approve a new development agreement for existing Class B at 1050 Albion Avenue for Yamada America, Inc. I, the motion would be to approve the TIF redevelopment agreement between the Village of Schaumburg and Nitty Group LLC and authorize execution of TIF redevelopment agreement by the village manager and village clerk and approve the required resolution. J, the motion would be to adopt an ordinance amending Title III, Chapter 41, Fee Schedule, Section A, General Fees, Various Cultural Services Rates, effective September 1st, 2026. 13, Committee of the Whole. A, the motion would be to adopt an ordinance adopting an annual budget for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2026 and ending April 30th, 2027, in lieu of passage of an appropriation ordinance. 14, Health and Human Services Committee. The motion would be to approve the 2025 Community Development Block Grant CDBG Action Plan Amendment. 15, Public Safety Committee. The motion would be to approve extending the agreement with JG Uniform of Chicago, Illinois for police department uniforms and equipment through April 30th, 2027 in an amount not to exceed the approved budget. 16, Plan Commission A. The motion would be to approve a special use for home-based business preparation of baked goods for Lily Grove Bakery, 438 Schulten Drive. B, the motion would be to approve a rear yard variation, principal structure room addition, and variation to allow a patio in the side yard, 227 Clearbrook Court. C, the motion would be to approve a special use for home-based business preparation of honey products for Botanical Honey Farm, 2213 West Weathersfield Way. 17, resolutions. A, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-26-03838, authorizing the village manager and village clerk to execute a redevelopment agreement between the Village of Schaumburg and Nitty Group LLC. 18, ordinances. The motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-031, adopting an annual budget for the Village of Schaumburg for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2026, and ending April 30th, 2027, in lieu of passage of an appropriation ordinance. B, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-032, approving the transfer of volume cap in connection with private activity bond issues and related matters. C, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-033, amending Title III, Chapter 41, Fee Schedule, Section A, General Fees, Cultural Service Rates. D, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-034, amending ordinance number 14-012, adopted January 14th, 2014, by revising the redevelopment project area legal description attached hereto as Exhibit A, the map of the redevelopment project area attached hereto as Exhibit B, and the list of property identification numbers attached thereto as Exhibit C, relative to the designation of the redevelopment project area in regard to the Village of Schaumburg's North Schaumburg TIF District in the Village of Schaumburg, Illinois. E, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-035, amending ordinance number 14-011, adopted on January 14th, 2014, by revising the redevelopment project area legal description attached thereto as Exhibit A and the map of the redevelopment project area attached thereto as Exhibit B, and the redevelopment plan and project attached thereto as Exhibit C in regard to amending the boundaries of the redevelopment project area for the Village of Schaumburg's North Schaumburg Tax Increment Financing District and to accommodate redevelopment within the amended boundaries of the Village of Schaumburg's North Schaumburg TIF District. F, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-036, amending ordinance number 14-013, adopted January 14, 2014, by revising the redevelopment project area legal description attached thereto as Exhibit A and the map of the redevelopment project area attached thereto as Exhibit B relative to adopting tax increment financing in regard to the Village of Schaumburg's North TIF District. G, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-037, granting a special use for home-based business preparation of baked goods for Lily Grove Bakery, 438 Schulten Drive. H, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-038, granting a rear yard variation, principal structure room addition, and variation to allow a patio in the side yard, 227 Clearbrook Court. I, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-039, granting a special use for home-based business preparation of honey products for Botanical Honey Farm, 2213 West Weathersfield Way. This concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you. Look for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion to approve is presented.
Second.
Motion is second. Will the clerk please poll the board?
Trustee Patel? Aye. Trustee Clare?
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan?
Aye.
Trustee Madej?
Aye.
Trustee Bischke?
Aye.
Trustee LaRosa?
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Thank you very much. Committee reports. We have no items listed this evening for committee reports. Comments from the public. It's an opportunity to speak before the village board. We ask that you step forward, give us your name, and please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. So,
Hi, my name's Neha Bodiwala. I live at, well, I have 2 addresses, but my rental property that I'm really here to discuss is 1809 Dumont Lane, and it's in Schaumburg. It's at the Sheffield Townhome. I've been complaining and talking to different people. I've even sent you an email regarding flooding that has happened. I've had 5 floods this year in the mere 6 months, and it's devastating to me as a single mom because I have to remediate the whole house, mitigate the whole house, you know, do flooring, etc. I've had plumbers come out. I've had roto-rooters come out. They're stating that it's not my fault, my house's fault. It's a fault in the street. And I've mentioned that to the association, and they've also mentioned that there's multiple houses that have had multiple floodings at that area. And my request is that rather than waiting till fall, which is what Michael Hall had mentioned to me via email, something happen immediately, because this is not only causing me financial burden, but it's also, I have a tenant who lives there, and now she's coming back at me because now it's my fault that this is all happening, which unfortunately the weather is just getting worse and worse.
so my understanding is, pardon me, my understanding is Public Works, Michael Hall, Director of Public Works, has talked to you and has been doing some investigation into what's going on, but they're not going to have an immediate answer. It's going to take a little bit more, or a little further to investigate what's going on. It's, as you indicate, a bigger issue than just your property. So it will take a little bit more time. I can't tell you it's going to be a month, it's 2 months, but it will take a little bit of time for staff to investigate that. So but they will keep in touch with you, and once they come up with some solution, identifying solution, they will be bringing it back to the board to approve and take care of.
With all due respect, sir, this is actually number 5. So if this was your home, 5 floods and causing financial burdens on a single mom, it actually, thinking about a solution doesn't really help me at all. I do want some immediate action because I've stated over and over again, this happened in March. This happened in November. I mean, this is multiple times that it's continued to happen. So I understand that these kind of things take time, but it's my house that's being flooded over and over again. And it is sewage that's coming up. So that is it's a public health safety issue. So it's because it's sewage water coming up. It's not just regular dirty water from outside. So I really urge that this take priority over, at least do a temporary solution until the bigger the problem is solved, such as putting in a backflow valve. And
Well,
that's what
and I
other
think
people have
that's
suggested.
part of the problem is, what is a temporary solution? And if we do one for you, what's the impact that's going to have upon others? So we're not just going to move the problem from you to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. There has to be something that's more broader, because you're not the only one that's had this situation. So we need to look at a bigger solution that will prevent this from happening in the area in general. And I understand it's, you've had this for now, but you're going to have to just provide some time in order for, staff has gotten direction. Let's see what we can do in order to prevent this from continuing to happen. Water is terrible. I had it 40 years ago when I moved into a home. I had it for 3 years, finally got it figured out. You know, you're going to have to give some time here.
Well, unfortunately, I don't like that answer, and I know that that's the only thing that I'm going to get right now. But 5 floods with sewage in a mere 6 months, and nothing has happened so far. It's just talks about what we can do in the future. Doesn't seem like a good answer to me, with all due respect. I do want something happening more immediately, because I have emailed, and there have been times where I've had somebody come out to the property, and rather than discussing it with me, I get no phone call. I've asked for phone calls, and I've had nothing. And that's not appropriate in my eyes. If this was your house and it had 5 floods, and it was sewage water that could potentially cause mold, there's kids, there's dogs, et cetera, it's not safe. That's all. And it is actually a huge financial burden. So that's all I'm just going to leave it with, because unfortunately I feel like I'm not getting an answer here, but I really do think that that needs to take priority. So,
Okay?
thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening. My name is Rob Byrne. I'm a full-time fire inspector here in Schaumburg. And I'd like to give you my perspective as a relatively new employee with the Village of Schaumburg. I started here in August of '23, and shortly after I started, the village put on their employee picnic. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, they're feeding every employee in the village. This is fantastic. And the village does do a lot of good things like this. They give us employee appreciation gifts. They send out food trucks for snack breaks and coffee breaks. All great things. But right now, we have been working without a contract for almost a year now. And other things that I have noticed in my time here is that there's a lot of new employees coming through the village. And I'm thinking to myself, human resources must need a revolving door to handle all these new employees. When I hear that many employees come here for 6 months to a year and then move on to another, or a neighboring municipality for higher wages. So these things tend to weigh on my mind as I go on here. And then fast forward to 2025, I join the local 1919 contract negotiations team. And during one of our first meetings with the village representatives storm out in a huff. And I'm thinking to myself, that doesn't strike a good chord as far as negotiations go. Also, I've learned that many ASME employees over a number of years, their wages have fallen behind the cost of living, which I don't think is acceptable. Additionally, initial contract language from the village was aiming to take away benefits from your most loyal employees, those that have been here 20 plus years. And during negotiations, that may have been removed, but that didn't strike a good chord with me either. These most recent observations have definitely kind of changed my view of the village. Unfortunately, not for the positive. But to paraphrase the village manager, the success of Schaumburg would not happen with the dedication and loyalty and service of all its employees. So in that vein, I'd ask you to encourage the settlement of a fair contract now with full retro pay. Thank you.
So as you can imagine, the board cannot comment on contract negotiations, but I will say, I want to thank you for your service. It is important to this village, and we will get there. So, next.
Good evening. My name is Mary Kirschbaum. Most of you know me as the Zoning Board Recording Secretary. While I have never revealed any concerns about being a Village of Schaumburg employee, I feel the need to share my own and fellow union members' disappointments relative to ongoing contract negotiations. Our monetary pay is a high concern for us, and we believe it should also be of concern to the village as a whole for two reasons: our turnover rate of employees and our reputation as a municipality. In recent years, the majority of our new hourly employees have no municipal experience. While they receive excellent training and experience, the many resources we use in training them does not benefit us. It is common for these new workers to leverage their experience in Schaumburg for higher paying jobs in other communities. In fact, several former colleagues have disclosed to me that their experience here paved the way for a higher paying job at a different municipality. Currently, our turnover rate of employees is 3 years or less. We feel that the Village of Schaumburg is not a permanent place of employment. Rather, it is a training center for other municipalities. To emphasize our stance, I would like to relate the following 3 experiences. Firstly, the Transportation Department had an administrative secretary who retired after 28 years. Since then, that position has been filled 3 times in less than 3 years. Secondly, a part-time community development employee transferred to a full-time position at the police department. She received a minimum hourly raise. After 2 days on the job, she accepted a position at another municipality, earning $20,000 more. And I confirmed this with her 2 days ago, and my memory is correct. Finally, 3 water billing clerks obtained positions at Elk Grove Village for a substantial pay increase, in part due to their experience here. We, the hourly employees, are the backbone of the village. We are the friendly smile when residents and business owners come to the village. We are the helpful voices on the telephone. We are the ones who perform inspections on the village's behalf. As such, we hope to receive pay commensurate to neighboring municipalities along with our retro pay. I urge the board to consider our message tonight. Thank you for listening to our concerns.
Thank you.
All right. Hello, and thank you for having us. My name is Nigel Watt. I'm a public affairs specialist with the U.S. Small Business Administration, specifically in the Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience. We're in town and spread across Cook County and the contiguous counties because recently there were a couple declarations that were for disasters back in August and July. We're a little bit late to the party, but we have no control over when these things are declared. But I wanted to spread the word on our disaster loan program. The SBA just so happens to be the largest source of funds for privately damaged property post-disaster. Funds coming directly from the Treasury, so it's kind of like taxpayers helping taxpayers at the end of the day. And we have 2 loan types. There are physical damage loans and what we call EIDL, which is economic injury disaster loans, helping businesses, nonprofits, homeowners, and renters as well. Now, businesses can be approved for up to $2 million in funding, and homeowners up to $500,000, renters up to $100,000 for their personal property, and that includes their car as well. Now, our rates are pretty low. We can get them as low as 3% for homeowners, as low as 4% for businesses. If anyone would like to apply, they can go to lending.sba.gov or call our hotline at 1-800-659-2955. And I'm in town for at least the next month, so if anyone has any events, I'd love to speak at them and talk to survivors and help spread the word. So thank you for having us. If there are any questions, I can answer those as well.
Yeah, do you have any, you got?
I got
some
flyers,
material?
I got materials, yeah.
We will take some of that, ultimately get that to the right people,
Awesome.
probably very timely.
I think you have sent emails to us too, and I know Matt Frank in Economic Development and some of our other staff have been working to disseminate the information throughout the community.
Okay, I'll take it here, that's fine. Okay, thank
Thanks
you.
for coming out.
Okay. Next.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Notarnicola, and I'm an AFSCME union member and a civilian employee here in Schaumburg. I'm new to Schaumburg, but I bring over 40 years of experience in my field. I value working here and serving this community. That's why I'm asking for a fair contract. It's been about a year without one, and employees are concerned about retroactive pay and salaries. Retroactive pay is for work that we've already done, and fair salaries are key to keeping and attracting good employees. I respectfully ask the village to reach a fair agreement that reflects the values of its workforce, because when you invest in your employees, you invest in quality of service this community depends on and deserves. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jessie Kempf-Dussard, and I work for Engineering and Public Works. I've proudly worked here for about 4 years. As an operations secretary, this year I've processed over 70 agenda items, 340 requisitions. I've processed 1,745 invoices, 75 change orders, and 18 transfers. I am busy all day, and I love it. I take great pride in my work, and I do the work I do, and I support to provide my fellow employees, residents, and businesses. I believe the level of commitment and responsibility we have consistently demonstrated warrants appropriate compensation adjustments, including our retroactive pay. Additionally, we deserve to be recognized and treated with the respect we have earned through our dedicated and hard work. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Lori Walter, and I'm the dispatcher at Public Works. I proudly have worked for the village for 21 and a half years. In my role, I assisted both internal and external customers every day, helping resolve issues efficiently, keeping operations running smoothly. Each year, approximately 8,000 customer service requests pass through the dispatch desk, reflecting the vital role this position plays in serving our community. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, I take great pride in the work I do and the support I provide our residents, businesses, and fellow employees. I believe that this level of commitment and responsibility deserves recognition through a fair and equitable contract. We are all part of AFSCME Union Local 1990, the diverse group of full and part-time village employees. As foundational staff, we provide essential support that enables all departments, including non-union employees, to function effectively. Our members are hardworking, dedicated, and deeply committed to serving the village of Schaumburg, as well as the residents and businesses who rely on our work every day. Since the expiration of our contract on May 1st, 2025, we have been actively seeking a fair and equitable agreement that reflects the value of our contributions. We remain committed to reaching a resolution that supports both our workforce and the continued strength of the community we serve. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Becky Merzen, and I work in the Community Development Department. I'm also a resident of Schaumburg. I have proudly worked for the village for 3.5 years. I have been a permit clerk for 2.5 of those years and was an administrative clerk at EPW for 1 year. In the village of Schaumburg, all projects begin and end with the permitting division. I personally schedule the majority of inspections, and I handle from start to finish all fire sprinkler, fire alarm, and new residential construction permits. Currently, my fellow permit clerks and I are working on Hopscotch, 90 North, Crossroads, Wise Commons, Viridian, Long Avenue, and we have recently completed Andretti Indoor Karting and Games, Lurie's Children's Hospital, Fogo de Chao, U.S. Bank, among many, many others. Every one of these projects have been very high profile, and they have been very rewarding for us to work on. All of these businesses will bring in a great amount of revenue for the village, and several businesses have already begun to do so. My coworkers and I take great pride in the work that we collaboratively do to help this great village prosper and run smoothly. We provide countless hours of support to residents, businesses, and each other. I believe that this level of commitment and responsibility deserves recognition through a fair and equitable contract. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name's Sandy Gallagher. Most of you probably know me. I'm the animal control officer. I've worked for the village for almost 24 years. I'm the president of AFSCME Local 1919, and I'm a resident. I've lived here since 1997. I'm here today. I'm speaking in the context of our ongoing union negotiations, where the concerns we've raised repeatedly about respect, fair pay, working conditions remain unresolved. Our members show up every day to serve this village. But what we're seeing at the bargaining table tells a very different story. Proposals that have proposed to move backwards instead of forwards, some of which our employees think are actually toxic is the word that's been used. And they don't reflect a serious commitment to the workforce that keeps this community running. Proposals that fall short of what's needed to live and work with dignity in this community. Fair pay is one of them. Fair pay is not a luxury, it's a baseline. When an employee is underpaid, it doesn't just hurt them. It destroys morale, retention, and it ultimately affects the quality of service that this village provides to its residents, to its visitors, to its businesses. We're also seeing increasing turnover, as other people have mentioned. New people, but also a lot of experienced employees have been leaving, and that should concern every member of this board. When institutional knowledge walks out the door, service suffers, costs rise, and the burden falls on the people that remain to pick up all the slack. At the same time, we also still live under a very subjective evaluation practices that continue to be used in ways that impact pay and advancement without clear, consistent standards. That creates uncertainty, frustration, and a workplace where employees don't feel treated fairly. Respect is not complicated. It looks like good faith bargaining. It looks like proposals that acknowledge economic reality for our employees. It looks like evaluation systems that are transparent and consistent, not arbitrary. Right now, employees are being asked to accept less security, less fairness, less recognition, while continuing to give their full effort. That imbalance is not sustainable. We're asking the board to step in, step up, set clear expectations, and direct your negotiating team to bring forward proposals that reflect respect and fairness and a real investment in this workforce. When you invest in your employees, you invest in the entire community. Strong village depends on a workforce that feels respected, supported, and fairly treated. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Absolutely.
Sure.
My name's Francesca Anderson. I've never worked for the village. I've done volunteer things for the village, and I've helped the organization. I want to start with there's a distinction between management and leadership. Management is about policies, it's about procedures and control. And I'm going to say the word control again because that's what management is. Leadership is about people, vision, and the responsibility of the impact of the policies on human beings. My family has been part of this community for 30+ years. We've had 4 homes with family members in it. We now have 3. My undergraduate degree is human resources or personnel and industrial relations management, and so that's collective bargaining unit. My father was a Teamster, my husband is a Teamster, so I understand the bargaining unit on the employee side as well as management. I have worked over 40 years in leadership positions with small startups up to publicly traded companies. I have never had a collective bargaining agreement under my control in leadership. What's happening here is a management issue, and it needs to be fixed. When a collective bargaining unit is formed, it's a sign that something has gone wrong with management and that the team members no longer feel heard, respected, or treated fairly. Absolutely a management problem. I was part of this, I'm not sure if any of you remember this, but I was part of this mental health referendum that got passed here, which brought in $1 million for our township to help with mental illness. And I'm going to tell you, it's no coincidence that this is green, and I'm seeing the green out here, and the people that are here in green, these are some of the people that helped pass this issue for us. The fact that we are not treating them fairly and taking care of them is absolutely absurd. I had a whole lot that I was going to tell you tonight, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to ask you to do is get this taken care of, get the past wages paid to them, issue them a bonus because they've been waiting for a year. Gas prices are up, inflation is up. It's not going to get any better anytime soon. Get a consultant in here to fix the issues and problems that you have. They're telling me what the turnover rate is. Do you know what that costs us? This is my tax dollar money. It needs to be fixed, Brian. You need to show leadership and get this fixed today. Not tomorrow, not 2 weeks from now, but today. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? All right, we're going to move on to the agenda. Thank you. Council report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I do have an item. It is time for the semi-annual review, one of them of the possibility of releasing some closed session minutes. The legal team has done that review, and we have recommended that no closed session minutes be authorized for release at this time. So I would request a motion to do just that.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second to not release any closed session minutes at this time.
I would ask for a roll call.
Clerk, please pull the board.
Trustee Patel.
Aye.
Trustee Claire.
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Madej.
Aye.
Trustee Bischke.
Aye.
Trustee LaRosa.
Aye.
6 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Thank you.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. President's report. I do have one. He's not here, but I do want to put it into the record. I was unfortunately unable to make an event with the Boys and Girls Club the other day. It was a breakfast event, and I had asked Police Chief Bill Wolf to say a few words on my behalf, and apparently did such a fine job. I got a note back from Village President Rod Craig of Hanover Park saying that he thought Bill had done an excellent job and far exceeded anything that he had to say. So he was very pleased, and of course so was the Boys and Girls Club. So thank you to Chief Wolf. I'm glad that he could attend and say those few words. So that's all I have. Managers report?
I just have 3 items that I wanted to report out this evening. First, we had our Volunteer of the Year award luncheon last week. We got to recognize a great number of volunteers from throughout the community for their efforts throughout the year. And as I said that day, we could only select 3 people or 3 award winners. But in my book, they're all winners, and we certainly appreciate their efforts. I also want to again thank Tiana Weiler and the staff in Cultural Services for organizing and executing the event. This is the 2nd year we've been at Maggiano's, and we get great reviews. Got great reviews from them last year, and got great reviews again this year. So we certainly look forward to going back there in 2027. Second, we did have one of our recycling events over the weekend out at Wintrust Field. I want to thank Mike Hall and his staff over in Public Works for helping to organize and execute that event. They got thrown a curveball towards the end when our electronics recycling vendor dropped out, and so they had to bring in some extra staff and do some extra efforts to make sure that that was executed and that residents could come out and drop off their materials. So Mike, thanks to you and your staff for your efforts there. And then finally, next week is Public Service Recognition Week. As I've said many times before, I think public service is a very honorable profession. We want to make sure that all of our employees are recognized for their contributions, for the things that they do. And so we have a number of activities and events planned for next week to make sure that we show our appreciation for what they do. So we'll certainly be sharing more information with the members of the Village Board about those activities, but want to make sure that everyone's aware that that important date is coming up next week. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Trustee comments? One I forgot was May 11th, Monday, May 11th is Boomer's opening day. So hopefully be able to come out and enjoy a start of a summer season and another championship season for the Boomers. They are under new management, so it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. So anything further?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.